The lesson I think that we have to learn is that people can become comfortable even in undesirable conditions. And sometimes if they're forced to leave that, they look back. That's what happened to Lot's wife. Now Noah was given a command, build an ark. And that command went against all logic. Because where was he building the ark? On dry land. I don't know how far he was from the ocean or the sea or anything. But he was building this humongous ark on dry land. As the people around him went by, they probably put their fingers to their temples and made little whirring motions. You know, yeah, there's crazy old Noah. Got his sons involved in this crazy project. And we hear he's going to take all kind of animals aboard. But why did Noah do that? Simply because he believed the promises of Yahweh. Abram, who later became Avraham, responded with blind obedience because he knew that it was Yahweh commanding him to do what he did. Blind obedience. Never thinking about it. If Abram had not met the challenge to leave his comfort zone, the great nation would have never come about. Not through him, anyhow. And what was she going to? Like Avraham, she's going to a land she'd never seen. She's going to marry a man she'd never seen. She's going to be his wife and live with him forever. And she was going to turn her back on the only home she had ever known, on her entire family. She would never see her family again. She realized that possibility. She would never see any of her other family members, any of her friends, any of her neighbors. She'd never see the geographical area that she had grown up in that she probably came to love. And she said, I will go. Rivka was called to leave her comfort zone. So Yaakov was forced out of his comfort zone twice. Each time it was because he faced hostile people. Maybe this is how we may be forced out of our comfort zone. We may face hostile people. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have to pack up and move. But it means we are going to have to deal with it and not capitulate. You know what season this is. You know what season's coming up. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're invited to mom or grandma's house for an Xmas dinner, you have to decline. You have to go outside of your comfort zone. And believe you me, some family members may make you very uncomfortable. Are you going to be able to endure that? And Yahweh said to him, well, what is that in your hand? And he said, a rod. He said, throw it on the ground. So he threw it in the ground, and it became a serpent, and Moshe fled from it. But when he reached out and took it by the tail, it became a rod again. The rod was the rod of authority. And there's a lesson here that authority can be a deadly serpent if it's misused. When the Israelite people called out to Yahweh for deliverance, they never asked to leave Egypt. They asked that their burdens be eased. They asked that the Egyptians might take it easy on them. They asked they wouldn't have to work so hard, back-breaking hard labor. But they never asked to be delivered. And Moses said, oh, you're going. You're going to go. And the whole time that they were on their journey, 40 years, the children of Israel grumbled and complained and murmured and plotted against Moshe and against Aharon to get another leader. Why? Because they wanted to go back to what they thought was a comfort zone? You know, back in the mid-1800s or latter part of the 1800s, President Lincoln wrote the Emancipation Proclamation in the wake of the Civil War. And the slaves were freed from slavery. Suddenly they said, hey, we're free. We don't have to work for the massa anymore. We're going to leave. We're going to go up north. We'll get jobs, or we'll go over here and get a job. We'll maybe get some land and build homes. And some of them did. But ironically, a lot of them returned to the plantation. Why did they do that? Because they had a slavery mindset, and they did not look ahead. They could not see the big picture. And this is a lesson for us. We have to learn to look ahead. We have to learn to see the big picture. We have to look beyond our present circumstances. How we react to certain situations that we find ourselves in will change as we grow spiritually. What do I mean by react? Well, we could say, that's it. These refrigerators, they put me out of business. I'm cursed. I'll go eat worms, or I'll go dig a ditch or something. But the smart ones used their head. They reacted properly. They reacted, they say, hey, we have a potential to do more. And they believe that. But we're talking about spiritual changes. We can all give some thought to whatever our comfort zone is and realize that our life here on earth is very transitory. We're only here for a short time. We don't know how long we're going to be here. I'm past my 70. I don't know how much longer I have. But neither do some of the young people. Yahweh could call us to make the grave our home tomorrow. So where are our priorities? Is it being comfortable and demanding what we want? Or is it being willing to do what Almighty Yahweh wants? The choice is not always easy.